Okay, so now I'm going to start painting. So, okay, just to reiterate, we've got our palette here, directions, and my canvas already prepared. By the way, if you drew this out and if you can see that your pencil lines are really, a bit too strong, meaning if you hold it out at arm's length and if they start to disappear, that's perfect. Okay, if they're too strong, then it's going to mix with your color. So you can, depending on the kind of canvas you have, you can kind of lift them up a little bit. Try not to really scribble in there, just kind of, lift it up as much as you can, just to make them lighter. Okay, so my directions for my yellow, I'm going to start up here with the yellow row, just to get started. And yellow, it says that it's cadmium yellow light. So that just means it's cadmium yellow light, like right out of the tube. So here's my yellow. And I'm going to need a bunch because I've got to do the entire row, okay? And we've already done our black and white painting, so this will be familiar, but I'm going to keep reiterating when I can. So the first thing I do is I dip my brush into my cup of water. It's out of range, so I put it down here. Okay, so I've got my cup of water. I dip it in, and then I knock off those drips. So, because what I want is damp bristles, not wet bristles. Kind of touch it on my rag to get the last drip off, and then I try not to spread it out. You can see it. I'm not going all the way into the corners just to be fast, okay? So, no need to wipe this brush off. I'm just going to lay it down here for a second. The next set of directions, let's see if I can shift this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So reading my directions next, it says mix hue with white to make a color one step lighter. So I don't want to put it like right into there because this is my reservoir for my entire row. So I'm going to take a little piece out, and it's going to be about that big, okay? So it's about the size of a pea, maybe something a little bit bigger, but let's see how this works. I think I'll need just a little bit more. So I've got that. Put this down for a second. I need some white. This white will do me for quite a few things. Now, I've got some paint here on my palette knife, and if I put it in that, then it's going to get some yellow. So I'm going to just wipe it off real quick, off on that rag. And I'm going to take out that much, okay? And so notice how I'm kind of scraping it this way and then this way. So I kind of mix it by making some motion, kind of lateral. And then I can use the side of my knife and kind of stack it back up again. Squeeze it down. This feels weird first time you're doing it, okay? But the nice thing about this is we're just painting squares. We don't have to worry about doing anything fancy, okay? So this brush has yellow on it, so I can go ahead and use it because that has yellow. So I'm going to, first thing, I'll clean off my palette knife. And I'll paint in my square. Okay, so there we go. All right. That's okay. I think I could have gotten it lighter. All right. So, get rid of this. Okay. Now, the next one says to mix the hue with black to make a color that's one step darker. So this can start to feel a little risky because black is a really strong color. Always, have on your computer, or, if we get this started in the room, you can go over and you can take a look at the example that we have right here in the room. Okay, I'll have several of these sprinkled out when we get started with this. So I need to put out some black. Now, black is a really strong color. One of the things that we're learning how to do with this is not only how color works, but also the various strength of these colors. The color that we started with is cadmium yellow. Cadmium colors have a great deal of opacity, so they cover really well. But they don't have as much tinting strength, so they don't go as far. Same way with white, very opaque, but low on tinting strength, kind of medium on tinting strength. Black, on the other hand, this particular black that I'm using, and most of the blacks are like this, so this is ivory black. Black has strong tinting strength. This particular one has a really strong tinting strength, but it's not very opaque. So if you wanted to paint something black, it's going to take like a lot more paint. So once again, I'm going to take a little bit of paint here, wipe off my palette knife to get it nice and clean, and then I'm going to take up a little tiny bit. Okay, you see that? I often say that this is about the size of a kitchen ant, okay? Really small, because it's so powerful, okay? And so we're going to see how that made it change right away, and it will come up looking kind of green, all right? And this is actually a really nice color. I kind of like that color. Now, I don't want to use this brush because it has white in it. And our recipe over here doesn't say anything about white being in this particular little sample of color. So I'm going to get a new clean brush. And of course, first thing I do, get it wet, knock those last drips off, blot my brush on my rag, and okay. I'm not all the way into the corners. I don't want to use up your time demonstrating how close I can get. If I wanted to get into corners with this nice little square-ended brush, I can kind of go at it with my brush running perpendicular, and I just kind of give it like a little bit of a shimmy, a little shake, and I kind of creep up on that corner. See how I got that corner? Okay, so that's how you can work with that. So now I've got a brush with yellow and black on it. So I'll put that one down. Now the next one that I need is a tone. And a tone is a color that has both black and white in it. So I've got a little bit of this stuff left over. So I think I'm going to see if I can mix them together. I don't think I have quite enough. I think I need to get some more black. Not that much. Whoa, okay, that was a little strong. And I think I'm going to need a little bit more yellow. Okay, so, okay, don't look. I'm going to do something sneaky here. Okay. Now I can do that because I know how